Hello and welcome to ShowMeAcademy.com. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to import and export the favorites that you have in Internet Explorer 7. If you've ever had to switch from one computer to another or share items amongst multiple computers, you've probably found out that it can be extremely annoying to try to transfer the bookmarks that you've saved in one browser into the browser on the new computer that you're using. But there are more convenient ways to accomplish that. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to export the current list of favorites that I have in Internet Explorer. To do that, we're going to go to the Add to Favorites button. And once we've clicked on that, one of the options that pops up will be for import and export. So select that. And this will actually pop up one of the Microsoft wizards for importing and exporting. From here, you just click on Next. This is going to give us multiple options where we can import or export feeds or cookies. But for the purposes of this tutorial, first I'm going to export my favorites. So I select that and click on Next. Now here it's going to ask what folder, from which folder I want to export. Now you can export just one folder's worth of favorites if you like. In this case, I want to export my entire favorites list. So I'm going to leave the top folder, that being the favorites folder, selected. And I'm going to click on Next. Now it's asking me where I want to export this file to. It's going to put all of these in a single HTML file. And you can choose anywhere you want on your hard drive to put that file. In this case, because I always find it rather difficult to try to drill into the My Documents folder, I'm just going to browse and I'm going to stick the resulting folder in the root of my D drive. So I'm going to save it right there in D. You can save it anywhere you want. And then I'm going to click on Next. And this is basically just a confirmation screen. It says that I'm about to export my favorites to the D drive in a file called bookmark.html. And click Finish. It pops up a little screen that says they were successfully exported, and I click OK. Now, I'm going to import them as well, but we want to be able to confirm that the import did something. We don't want to just import the same favorites on top of the old favorites. So I'm going to look at my favorites list, and I have a list of 3 essentially dummy favorites that I created here called Google 1, Google 2, and Google 3. Now the list of favorites that I exported had these 3 favorites in them, but I'm going to delete them right now. I'm going to take them out, move that one, delete that one, and delete the third one. Again, the reason I've done this is because now in my current favorites, I no longer have any listings for Google 1, 2, or 3. But I want to be able to confirm that when I import the favorites back into my favorites list, that it did in fact bring in all the old favorites that I had before. So now, to import, I'm going to go back to Add to Favorites, and I'm going to click on the Import and Export option. From here, I just click on Next to get into the wizard. And now, instead of choosing Export Favorites, I'm going to leave it on Import Favorites as the action that I want to perform. And I'm going to click on Next. And now it's asking me for the location of the file to import from. So remember, I saved that export file in the root of my D drive. So I'm going to browse to that location now. This is the root of my D drive. This is bookmark.html. And now I'm going to click Next. Now again, it's asking me what folder I want to put these imports into. You can import into a specific folder in your favorites. In this case, I'm basically importing all the favorites that I had into the list that I have now. So I'm going to leave the root folder selected and click Next. And now it's confirming that I'm about to import the favorites from this file into my Internet Explorer. And I click Finish, and it gives me a confirmation message saying that they were successfully imported. So I click OK. Now to confirm that we actually did something with that import, I'm going to look back at my favorites, and you'll see when I scroll down that once again these links to Google 1, 2, and 3 have returned. They returned because they were in the list of favorites that I originally exported, and now that I imported them, they came back in. You'll notice that all the other files are the same. It didn't duplicate those files when they came in. It didn't create duplicate favorites because that would not be very helpful. So it went through the import, it looked for everything that I didn't have, and it only added the files that I didn't have. That concludes this tutorial, and thank you for using ShowMeAcademy.com.